Good evening. A big change could be coming for drivers here in the Valley. ADOT just announced that electric cars will no longer be able to use the HOV lane if they only have one person inside.
12 News journalist Chase Golightly spoke with EV drivers today who aren't too happy about this. Chase, so when does this go into effect?
Caribbean market set to start at the beginning of October, and it's not just Arizona that would be impacted by this, it's nationwide, any state that has HOV lanes. Now, I was told it's possible that this change won't happen, but it would literally take an act of Congress. There's nothing better than driving past bumper-to-bumper traffic in the HOV lane during rush hour.
I mean, it's definitely convenient.
Of course, you need 2 or more people from 6 to 9 in the morning and 3 to 7 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. Unless you're a motorcycle rider or you have an electric vehicle, like Darylyn Elkins with her Tesla. She can use the HOV lane anytime she wants, even if it's just her in the car.
And then the whole reason we got them was to drive in these HOV lanes to save time for work.
Which saves a lot of time on her daily commute, going from Peoria to Mesa for work.
I drive 44 miles one way, so I use it every day. It saves me approximately about 30 minutes.
Then this morning she got an email from ADOT saying her HOV privileges may go away, along with every other alternative fuel driver.
We don't want people to be surprised. We want people to know that this could be coming.
Steve Elliott, a spokesperson for ADOT, tells me the Federal Highway Administration just notified them that a federal policy allowing EVs in the high occupancy vehicle lanes with just one person is set to expire at the end of September.
Those vehicles, electrics and alternative fuel vehicles, will be subject to the same rules as everybody else, which is 2 or more in the HOV lane.
Unless Congress steps in and extends the policy.
I hope they extend it.
Which these drivers want.
I'm definitely rooting for it to get renewed. Definitely helps us.
Otherwise, Elkins says she may just switch back to a regular car.
I'd seriously think about maybe going back, depending on what happens.
Now, if this policy does end, we're told motorcycle riders will still be able to use the HOV lane whenever they want. And we actually just learned that some residents here in the Valley have actually started a petition to try to keep this policy in place. We're live in Phoenix. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thank you. Police in Scottsdale are investigating a double murder-suicide in a McCormick Ranch neighborhood. That investigation focused on a home north of Indian Bend Road. Scottsdale police performed a wellness check at the request of a coworker. So far, they have not released the names of the victims. They emphasize that there is no ongoing threat to the community, alluding to the fact that the violence was isolated to a single home.
The mayor of Scottsdale is asking Axon to compromise a little bit on their new headquarters. Axon has warned that if they don't get their expansion, they'll leave the state. The previous city council had approved Axon's expansion, but residents, unhappy with the plan, forced a ballot referendum. Lawmakers then introduced a bill to override local zoning, but the mayor, Lisa Borowski, is against it, saying it interferes with the city's control.
Make no mistake, this is the Axon bill, and it is specifically tailored to address Axon's demands. We need to fight this bill with everything we have.
In a statement, Axon said in part, Axon remains focused on staying in Arizona, building a global headquarters campus here, creating 5,500 quality jobs and adding $38 billion to the state's economy over the next decade. We'll work with the legislature and anyone and everyone who shares that goal.
More trails at South Mountain will stay open this summer during extreme heat warnings. Tonight, the Phoenix Park Board unanimously voted to open up trails after months of criticism from local hikers. Last October, the board voted to shut down all trails at South Mountain between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. whenever the National Weather Service declared an extreme heat warning. Those rules are still in place at Camelback and Piestewa Peak, but now only 3 trails at South Mountain will be closed during dangerous heat waves. Those trails are the Mormon, the Holbert, and the Howpal trails.
It's really hot. I personally can't imagine wanting to go on a hike, and it does put, the rescue people in danger. So I don't think it's an impractical thing when it's scorching hot. I think people who want to work out can probably find places to do it.
Even with the 3 trails closed, hikers on South Mountain will still be able to enjoy 120 miles of trail, no matter what the temperature is. Well, the big day is finally here, opening night for the Diamondbacks.
And of course, plenty of hyped up fans excited to get this thing going. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono is live at Chase Field tonight. Bianca, how did it go?
Well, from the smell of the stadium to the sound of that organ, this unofficial national holiday is a day filled with nostalgia, but it's also a day that new memories are made. There's nothing like the magic of opening day.
This is my very first opening day game.
And on Thursday, that magic descended upon downtown Phoenix.
It's the best. We look forward to it every year.
It's a day for starting new traditions.
His name's Austin.
Austin, he's 4 months old?
Yeah.
And for celebrating old ones.
We've been doing it for 9 years, and every time I come, I'm so excited to see all the players get home runs and have so much fun.
Oh my gosh, 9 years. How old are you?
9 years old.
Mackenzie Gramp is a true fan of the sport and just started playing softball. Her dad says sharing their love of this game is a dream come true.
Now we have that connection of baseball, softball together. It's really enhanced our relationship, so it's been super fun.
Ed and Linda Ozier are diehard Diamondbacks fans since before day one.
He actually sent the deposit in for the tickets before they built the building.
And we're still in the same seats.
Then there's Tom, the ballpark man, Kimbrough.
I always say opening day is my biggest holiday of the year.
A 27-year season ticket holder who's here for every home game and travels the country, making America's pastime his own.
I have scheduled 139 this year. I'll be going to 4 more openers this year.
And Jeff Gazzardo
It's great to be back.
brought his own magic in the form of 2 words.
I'm not one big for signs, and so I thought I just got on my computer and I remember snake, sakes alive, snake, and I remember a song about staying alive or something like that, and that's how really I came up with it.
His simple sign became famous during the D-backs postseason run in 2023, and the slogan has become an unofficial rally cry for the team. It's only right he would bring that luck back to the Diamond on a day that represents possibilities and hope. Day 1 of a clean slate.
To me, the snakes will always be alive, so I bring it to every game.
All right. Thank you so much. That was Bianca Bono reporting. New at 10 during State School Superintendent Tom Horn's weekly news conference. He talked about solving the ongoing crisis of student absence.
But some information Tom Horn shared was contradictory, raising some questions about whether Horn has actually found a solution. 12 News journalist Joe Dana explains one very big discrepancy and the politics surrounding it.
The confusion caused by Superintendent Tom Horn shows why the issue of chronic absenteeism is often misunderstood even by state leaders.
There have to be consequences for absenteeism.
Superintendent Tom Horn bringing before the media a leader of a large valley district Horn says is doing things right. A student is chronically absent if they have missed at least 18 days of school in a year.
The Dysart School District that has a terrific program.
Horn said Dysart's chronic absenteeism rate is astoundingly low compared to the state in the single digits.
I believe the apples-to-apples comparison will be less than 7%.
Horn touted Dysart's no-nonsense approach and its partnership with law enforcement, strategies Horn is promoting.
And this would be a great motivator for parents.
But the reality is Horn's own Department of Ed data shows 24% of Dysart students were categorized as chronically absent last year, close to the state average of 25%. Dysart says their data is much lower, but acknowledge the state uses its own metrics. In other words, Dysart may be doing some things right, but given how the state measures the problem, Dysart does not stand out.
This news conference also showed the debate going on about the role of support staff like social workers in the Dysart district. They recently eliminated all of their social worker positions, more than 30. How much do social workers and counselors contribute to fighting absenteeism?
We have not had the need for social workers in the Dysart district. Our counselors, that they are involved in those conversations. Right now, we believe that we have the methods in place.
By contrast, experts who conducted the absentee study cited by Horn say overall, support staff at schools is vital and in short supply.
What we saw in Helios's research, as well as the Chronic Absence Task Force, is that we need the community support, and that engagement means counselors, it means social workers, it means the attendance clerk. We do know it's an issue. I mean, schools are struggling to have the staffing levels necessary.
But support staff has become a political issue. Democratic leaders want major funding increases across the board for schools. Republicans want increases limited to teacher salaries only.
I think that the districts have a dire need in supporting their teachers. And we can have all the support staff in the world to get kids to school, but if there aren't any teachers there, what's the point?
Why not also do this news conference on the state legislature lawn and say we need the state legislature to step up?
Both of my State of Education speeches at the legislature this year, I urged additional funding.
Respectfully, you are only asking it for the teachers. What about the support staff? We have the worst counselor to student ratio in the country.
Right. Well, I'm dealing with political realities, and right now, the emergency is teachers.
The county's juvenile probation courts do have a program to address chronic absenteeism. The program called CUTS allows officers to go into the homes of families and issue citations to parents. Joe Dana, 12 News.
All right, Joe, thanks. Still